Yo, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Young here today with my personal top 10 weapons for Warzone. The guns are in no order, none whatsoever. It is super random. The first five classes, I just put the top 10 guns in there. Try to make the video short and sweet for you. So we're going to jump right in with the very first gun, which is going to be the M4 and the MP7. So for the M4, it's one of the first guns you get your hands on. Definitely one of the best guns in the game. Put some of your attachments on there, tweak it out the way that you want it. These are definitely, like I say, my personal attachments and my personal opinions for the guns that I chose on this list today. The monolithic suppressor is hands down probably the best attachment to use on this game. The reason why I say that is because it gives you sound suppression and it also gives you damage range. So with the sound suppression, say you're in a gunfight, it prevents you from being third party. It keeps you off the mini map. So on the mini map on this game, if you notice, every time you fire without having a suppressor on your gun, a little red dot shows up and it alert other enemies to your location. So having that on just keeps you off the map, and then it also gives you your damage range back as well, which is huge. Um, MP7, one of the guns that you can find on the ground as well. Uh, put your own attachments on there. I got mine more so geared around ADSB and recoil control. So I got the Tech Laser that gives me ADSB, sprint to fire, and then a walk aiming steadiness. Uh, a stipple grip that's also going to give me my sprint to fire, my ADSB, and then I got the Merc that's going to give me my hip fire, my recoil, and then of course my favorite attachment again. Then we're gonna jump down to the next two on the list, which is going to be the AUG, not just the regular AUG, but the AUG with the 5.56 rounds. And the reason why I say that is because with the 5.56 rounds, it's pretty much an AR, but it still take the SMG bullets, which is easy to find because you start off with a pistol. Using this gun with the 5.56 rounds gives you the ability to have an AR with SMG like movement, if you get what I mean. Then I hate to put it in there, but it's there. It's the RPG. Uh, I hate it, but I also have picked it up and wiped the whole team out with it before. Not much to say, but it's overpowered. It's definitely an overpowered gun. Then we're gonna get into the M13 and then the HDR. So the M13, also another gun that you can find in the box on the ground when you drop into Warzone. Um, feel free again to tweak out your attachments how you want to. This here is just the way that I got mine tweaked out. Sometimes I play with iron sights on some of my guns, and then sometimes I play with the optic scope. And then I got my favorite weapon, which is the HDR. Um, again, one of my favorite attachments on here as well is going to be the thermal scope. I like the thermal scope. With this, you can see across the entire map, literally. Um, and then I got just the HDR Barrel Pro, 9 round mag, bipod, my favorite attachment as well. Then we're gonna get into the MP5 and then the Kilo. The MP5 with the 10 millimeter. These rounds right here is where you want to go with this gun here. And then I got my sleight of hand. This is more so my running gun type of class or gun in particular. So I got it more so geared around to where I could move pretty fast, reload, and then get back into the action. Because only having that 30 round, you'll chew through your ammo pretty fast. So slap the sleight of hand on there so you can get back into the gunfight. And then I got the Kilo, which is gonna be like my big tank. Slap the hunt around the monkey, the monkey boys on there. So um, again, this gun I kind of tweak it out a little bit here and there. With the 100 round mag, it do slow you down. It do slow you down a lot. So with this one, I do recommend running like an SMG with this, so that whenever you sprinting, switch to your SMG so you can run a little bit faster. And then when you get to that medium to long range, that's when you switch to your Kilo. That way you can chop them down with the 100 round mag. And then last but not least, the Ram and the AX50. The Ram, it reminds me of the M4, but it got more of a recoil pattern that you have to maintain in order to really master this gun. I feel like if you can master the recoil, then this gun is just as good as the M4, if not better. It got a real high TTS, time to kill. And like I say, with the right attachments, you can tweak this out, make it work for you. This some of my attachments. I was playing with it yesterday, and I noticed that my ADS was pretty slow. I'm not even quite sure how many this come with without the 50 round mag, but I'm gonna find out because I might drop the mag and maybe put something else on. I'm gonna try that. And then the AX50, one of my favorite snipers as well. It's not my favorite. My favorite would be the HDR. Um, they do have some similarities, and they both have their own pros and cons. The only thing about the AX50 that I don't like versus the HDR is the bullet velocity. The HDR have a higher bullet velocity, meaning that it flies straighter at a faster rate, so it hits your target a lot faster than the AX50. The AX50, I noticed over a longer distance, you have to lead that bullet a little bit more to hit your target. Or if someone is standing still, you have to put the crosshair a little bit above them because it got that bullet drop. But the AX50 and the HDR are the only two. One shot somebody with full armor, but it has to be a headshot. So um, this one is one of my classes that I use for multiplayer. This was kind of like my quick scoping. I did have my tech laser on there for the ADS speed, but I'm not doing too much quick scoping in Warzone. But the HDR and the AX50 again is my top two snipers to use. Absolutely. But other than that, that's my personal top 10. If you think there's something else that I should have done or added into here, let me know. If you have any weapons that you think is good that I may have forgotten, let me know down in the